This is the darkest hour.
Yo,
man.
dark, very dark.
Yeah, my name is Leclerc Andre. Joining me as always, my co-host Cab Washington.
What's up? We out here.
Man,
light bulb right here, baby.
and joining us is the very funny, very talented, and amazing human being, Kevin Śmigielski.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here, guys.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, thank you. It's gonna be a great show.
It's gonna be a good time. So this
time.
pod is all about dark hours and dark stories.
Yeah, we've heard some crazy ones, dog.
Pretty crazy. I think this one might be one of the better ones as well.
Oh, dang. All right, I'm excited.
High hopes.
Buckle up.
Yeah. I had a dark hour today.
Dang.
Yeah. I had to pick up more toys.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want any more.
On top of previous toys that you had.
Yeah, I don't want any more toys in my house. And I know that this sounds like a first world problem. I'm very aware of this, but yeah, it's becoming a thing where I can't even walk in my house without shoes on anymore.
Oh man.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like Legos, batteries, everything I step on makes a noise. It's crazy, and I only got one kid that I care about, so it's crazy.
I thought you were gonna raise your kids old school. Like they was just gonna have like they just had to be their imagination and just you and their
You know what?
regular natural connection, right?
You know what?
No toys.
I did talk
no
that
light
talk.
up.
I did talk that tough got talk.
Yeah.
And then she got here. I was like, whatever you want. You can have whatever you want.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was talking that crazy. I was like, yo, I ain't having no cars when I was a kid. You ain't getting nothing. When you. She came out, I was like, let me get 3 more jobs. Because you going to get everything.
Yeah.
You know what she got that I'm like low-key jealous about?
What's up?
You know those? You ever seen those little electric cars that kids drive around in that are that have a gas pedal steering wheel?
Those are lit. Though. I saw them the other day.
The Barbie ones.
I got her a Maserati.
I can't. You got the Maz?
I got the all-white Maserati.
That ran you about like 100K?
Man, I don't want to talk money right now. But I'm just letting you know we did a whole photo shoot. She put on she put on a jumpsuit. She had the sunglasses on. She on the sidewalk. I'm like, go girl. Dude, I got her one of those cars, man.
Dang.
It takes up my whole hallway. My whole hallway. You got to hurdle this car to get into my apartment.
Is she even
now.
1 year old yet?
She's 13 months now.
Got it.
Yeah.
You still on months, huh?
Yeah, she got a learner's permit the other day. I'm like, yeah, you gotta drive slow through this intersection.
Queens, though. Queens. That's a perfect place
Yeah,
to
man.
learn how to drive.
Now I'm like worried about the speed of actual cars in my neighborhood. I'm like, hey, we gotta learn. Got a little girl driving here. Slow down.
Yeah.
You remember how to flag? Just like kind of slow people down.
Yeah.
They're like, what are you doing?
But nah, I changed, man. I'm a different person now.
Hey, Maya riding dirty, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I want to get one of those signs that
I respect it.
say slow kids at play.
Oh yeah, like a street sign.
Yeah, but if you read it wrong, it makes it sound like the kids are slow. So
That's exactly how I thought you meant it. I was
no.
like, oh, maybe Maya, we found out more about her.
They got the kid on the thing like this.
Right, yeah.
But you don't ever see
You
those
got
in
a
New
dog
York.
too, right?
I got a dog, yeah.
Hey, you got a full house, bro.
Full house.
Full house and an
And
apartment.
a car. Yeah.
And a car.
And a Maserati.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
not going to just
Maserati.
call it a
Yeah,
car.
yeah,
okay?
Maserati.
Is it push to start?
It is push to start. Yeah. Push to start. It got a nice little sound system on it.
Dang. It dumps? What you, Baby Shark?
You could actually plug in a USB to it.
Whoa, bro. Leclerc, why?
I got the Cocoa Melon blasting.
Yeah.
Wheels on the bus.
I just...
In her own whip. By the way, she only presses the pedal. She don't even try to steer. She like this.
Oh man.
I'm like,
no shirt on, just like...
I'm like, Ma, you about to go over the curb. She's like, I don't care, man. Go ahead, get the wheel. But that's how she drives, man.
Yo, she's wild, dog. Something like her daddy. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man.
Good, man.
How's your week going? How's your apartment? Is it clean? You got a nice
Dude.
clean house? I'm jealous. I want a clean house, man.
Yeah.
I used to have a nice clean house. Now it's a
full,
circus.
yeah.
Now my roommates left, yo, and it's just been tranquil as crap. Like three bedroom to yourself. I feel like this is exactly where I need to be in my life. But instead, when they come back, it'll be like having 2 kids. You know? It'll be just like that. But I've been binging White Lotus. Y'all been watching White Lotus?
No.
Oh man.
Stop.
It's
really?
good, huh?
Bro, I'm just manifesting all the dysfunction of me being rich. Oh my God. It's all about resort life and just what it comes with being like rich and having a whole bunch of money in a family, and just the discourse on these. It's just so wild. You should watch it. You should check it out.
White Lotus.
Okay, yeah.
I hadn't even heard of White
No,
Lotus.
me either. Yeah, Netflix or
Yeah, it's on HBO Max.
HBO Max.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is a crazy cast. Jennifer Coolidge is on it. She's wild as hell. I can't name anybody else, but she's on it. So.
Nice.
I'm trying to catch up on ATL, man.
ATL,
Yeah.
bro. What happened,
Man, life.
bro? Did you get Trinity to the Bone yet? Have you watched ATL?
No,
Okay.
no. I need to though. I keep hearing about
You
it.
gotta have a watch
Yeah,
party.
yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
yo,
Wait, what
sound
is-
guy. Can you put on the? We're gonna watch the whole season. Just nah. So have you seen Training to the Bone episode yet? Of season 3.
I just saw the first episode of season 3.
Okay, got it.
The one
the
where,
boat, right?
the boat one,
That- so
I didn't know that was a true story.
wait, where they go? They get adopted, or you
Yeah,
kind of adopted?
yeah.
Yo,
Not even fully adopted. She like rented.
Yo, for real?
It was like this lady rented these kids
Okay.
to do housework. But it was actually
Yo.
based on a true story.
It was?
Yeah.
Did it really happen in which the parent really left, said, "Son, you have to leave," and then?
I don't know about the details of that part, but like
Okay, yeah.
at the end,
Yeah.
remember where they
Those-
like, she
they
actually
Commit
went,
suicide or whatever.
she actually went through with the kids stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Remember that video? Remember that picture that was going viral of that young boy hugging a cop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young
Actually,
black boy
yeah.
hugging a cop? That was the family.
What? So
Yeah.
one of them survived then?
No, that was before.
Oh.
Yeah,
wow.
that picture went viral before the incident happened, and it made national news.
Wow.
What
Okay.
city did that originate in?
I couldn't tell you. Oh, I think it was in the Twin Cities.
Oh, Minnesota.
believe,
Okay,
yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta watch it. It's
Okay,
it's
yeah.
a rush. It's so funny. Oh my god! Wait till you get to season 4. Like,
Well, not that part. That part isn't funny, but
no, but like,
to be clear,
Yeah.
murder suicide is
Yeah.
it's not that dark of a podcast.
Okay.
yeah, no. I thought that's what type of time we were on. Never mind.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, man, what are you watching right now?
What am I watching now? Well, I got really confused watching The Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Did you watch that?
Yo, I need to get in there.
Yeah, it
I
was
heard the
pretty-
budget's unreal.
Yeah, it was on Amazon. Basically the prequel of like Hobbit, Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
but
What's it called? Rings of
Rings of
something?
Power.
Of Power,
Yeah.
yeah,
The funny
yeah,
thing
yeah.
at the end, they only made 3 rings, and it was all about 5 rings. So
Oh.
all the nerds are up in arms about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like a lot of loophole or a lot of holes.
They're
but-
sick. They're like on page 77.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
Really, this is not the same. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, just watching that. I'm always watching The Office.
The Office.
Arrested Development. I think people sleep on. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
That's Jason Bateman. Not Jason Bateman.
Yeah,
it's
Jason
Bateman, right?
yeah,
that
yeah.
cast is unreal.
and
Dave
Michael
Bur-
Cera. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
in
Michael
it.
Cera. David
yeah.
Cross is on there too, right?
Yeah, it's super funny.
That's like the original. That's like popped them all off. Like,
yeah, it kind of got slept on, and then now people are watching it. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm always watching The Office.
How many
Like,
episodes are you into? How many seasons of Arrested Development?
no, there's 4,
Okay.
but the 4th season is kind of like just like a remake almost. But
Really?
the first 3 are great. Yeah.
Okay.
Highly recommend. Yeah.
Yeah, Jason Bateman is I love him. Actually, so y'all watch Ozark?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
so,
tried to start watching that. Yeah.
So Ozark.
Wait, hold on.
Try.
You tried to start. You
Wait,
tried to
yeah.
start
Oh,
watching
wow.
it. It's
Okay,
a
yeah.
very,
Wait,
very.
wait,
I mean, the
Yeah.
thing is like I loved Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I mean, at one point I was a meth dealer, like because it takes you to that like dark spot,
Yeah.
and at the end you're like, I can't do it. You know what I mean?
Dang.
So I started watching Ozark, and I just started comparing it to Breaking Bad. And I just couldn't get past that first
Right.
couple episodes. So,
Oof,
but if you guys want to change my mind, like,
I implore you, please
Okay.
give it an honest shot. There's scenes in that series
Another
that
situation where I want to be famous and
Yeah.
do bad things.
Okay.
there's
Rich and do
Right,
bad
yeah.
things.
there are real scenes in that series where I'm thinking this is the best acting I've ever seen.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And Jason Bateman, as multi-talented as he is, I think he really found like his lane from an acting standpoint. Like he can be funny. I
Yeah.
think he plays a great straight man.
Yeah.
But in that show, he deals with so much conflict.
Okay.
And he does it while staying true to that character. It's truly brilliant. The show takes you on quite the journey.
Okay.
And the stakes always feel real. They always feel real.
You're always somehow like empathizing with decisions that they're making.
Yeah.
It's like if I were in the same situation, and then you're always freaked out to the point where you're like, how did they not dying? Like, how are they not? And how are they live? How are they like what? Like, but straight isn't like he's straight up character like
right. Yeah. And Heisenberg, like when you're watching Breaking Bad and
Yeah.
you see the development, you see the evolution of that character.
Yeah.
It truly is something to watch. It's a sight to be seen. And also as a viewer, you have to submit that this just isn't the same person that he was in the first episode.
Oh yeah,
it's
right.
not the
Definitely.
same person. Right?
Definitely.
He's gone through too much. It's just not the same character you fell in love with if you fell in love with that early character. In Ozark, it's all happens within such a short period of time, relatively.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
So you get to watch the kids grow up just because they're taking actual time off in between seasons in real life. So you can't slow down a kid from hitting puberty, right?
Yeah.
But
Jonah, I think this is Jonah.
yeah,
He's
but
like,
Jonah, but in real time, like the actual show from season 1 to the last season, it's supposed to take place within a very relatively short amount of time.
2-3
Okay.
years,
Yeah. So the characters they can only do so much evolving.
Gotcha.
But boy oh boy, do you learn about human nature.
Okay.
And you also learn about the cartel in a way and laundering that like other shows don't really get into. Like Breaking Bad, it was more so on the chemistry of meth dealing.
Yeah.
And the business side was really taken care of through the what's the guy's name?
Jesse. Yeah.
No, not Jesse. The super scary drug dealer, the Hispanic dude.
Oh yeah. Oh man. I want to say Gustavo, but that's
not Gustavo.
Okay,
we're gonna write it in the chat, guys.
Yeah, right in the chat.
But yeah, it's a great show. I love Breaking Bad. If you love Breaking Bad, I think you definitely deserve to give it a chance.
I'll give it a shot.
Honestly, some of the darkest moments I've ever seen in television were on that show.
Yeah.
And it tackles addiction, it tackles mental illness, it tackles
family dynamics,
family dynamics, cheating,
affairs, religion.
Yeah.
Religion
and the
into play
TV gold.
heavily.
Yeah, the TV gold of like murder,
real estate,
all that stuff.
Like
Gotcha.
travel. Like it was wild. It was crazy. Casinos, like it was I love that show, dog.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Yeah, I'll try it out. Yeah, try it again.
I'm gonna follow up with
You're
you.
gonna be emotional.
Yeah, follow me up.
You're gonna be tight though for like a
Yeah, Breaking Bad took me to a super dark space.
Yeah.
So but then so I'm ready to be dark again.
Yeah.
wait, sorry. Real quick. This turned off, I think. Or is the red turn off and on?
I'm actually.
Oh, you're switching. Okay, got it. Okay, sorry about that. All right, cool. Yeah. Yep, definitely. But anyway, I met Frank Jr., the dude who got his genitals shot off. Remember by Wendy or one of those. And I met him, and it was cool. I met him at a bar yesterday.
Yesterday,
he's a Bears fan. Yeah.
What a coinky day.
I was like, you were Frank Jr. He was like, no, I'm just here hanging out. And I was like, damn. He hit me with the Hollywood answer.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, nah, but like I'm just a really big fan of your work. And I was like, I'm an Eagles fan. He's like, oh, I'm a Bears fan. And we chopped it up.
Yo, that dude did not want to have sex.
Yo,
with
he
you,
did
man.
not.
He did not want your
But
phone
you know
number,
me.
man.
Yo, right. We're going to hang out next week. All right. We're going on the pod, dog.
Yeah.
He had to have had some dark hours, yo.
On that show for sure.
Oh,
man.
my God, dog.
But stop giving away the show, man. He
Oh,
hasn't
my bad.
seen.
Ozark?
Yeah. he
Oh,
hasn't
dang.
seen-
All right. Well.
We're talking about people's genitals getting blown.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. He's like, is this going to happen?
Kevin's like, say no more.
I'm in now. Yeah.
I got some questions for you.
Okay,
man.
great.
Some
Yeah,
darkest hour questions.
Yeah, definitely.
First, have you ever been dumped?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who
Okay.
hasn't though? Right.
I mean,
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't relate.
Yeah. No, I've been dumped.
yeah. What's that like?
It's awful. Yeah. I got dumped so bad that I literally didn't go on a date for 5 years.
5
years. Yeah, it really, really messed me up. It was a crazy situation.
Oh.
I was living in Boston. I started a nonprofit, like one of my best friends, to help like inner city youth. And I met this girl. I won't say her name, Holly.
Oh.
I hate you. But yeah, we had like this perfect kind of relationship. And I guess that should have been like the red flag, you
Right.
know, like we're not fighting. Everything's rainbows and lollipops. And yeah, we just had like this great relationship. And then we're going to the movies to actually see The Hobbit.
Okay.
I dressed up like a hobbit, and I was just ready to see it. And she's like, hey, can you hand me my phone?
Mm-hmm.
I pick up the phone. She had 10 missed calls from her old boyfriend, right? Okay, I'm a pretty, like, forgiving guy. I'm not, like, somebody that sneaks in, looks at phones, emails, whatever. So I ask her about, you know, these phone calls. And she says, hey, like, I've still been talking to my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, because they dated for like 10 years.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, like, tell me about the situation. She did, you know, she asked for forgiveness. I forgave her. We went and watched The Hobbit.
Oh my God.
So then we go on another date. We had like a date night, like each week. And we went to go rock climbing. Like, first of all, I don't know. I hate rock climbing. So I was like, this is a red flag already. You know, so we go rock climbing. We're having a good time. We get in the car, right? And I say, hey, girl, like, well, let's go get something to eat. And she goes, this is like a typical Christian answer. She goes, I'm fasting. I can't eat.
Oh.
And usually fasting is like you're trying to get closer to God, hear God about something. And I'm like, oh, like, what are you fasting about? You know, because like this is like something that you talk about usually if you're like a close couple.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you fasting about me? I literally say, are you fasting? And she's like, yeah, I'm fasting about you. I'm like, so then you know that panic that you get with the sweat dripping down your back, like thinking, man, like, what did I do? I'm like, literally, she's talking to her boyfriend, like, what? Her ex-boyfriend. Why am I nervous about this? So then I start panicking, and then she says to me, I don't trust you.
Oh.
And I'm like, what do you mean you don't trust me? Like, what did I do? Like, what's going on? And literally, this is what happened. I go to put my hand on her shoulder, and she starts to have a panic attack. Like, literally full on breakdown in this car. And I forgot to tell you, she has like really, really bad asthma. No. For the first time in our whole relationship, she forgets her inhaler, right? So she's panicking, like can't breathe. The snow is coming down in Boston. She's like, I have to get to my parents' house to get my inhaler. So it's like, this is like out of a movie. I'm driving, I'm running red lights in the city of Boston to get to her house, right? I get to her house, I get her into her room, her mom and dad come out, the ambulance come.
No.
She locks herself into the bathroom, won't talk to me, right? So I still have no idea what's going on, like why she doesn't trust me, like what's happening. Her dad comes out, had a good relationship with him. He says, Kevin, why don't you come home and talk to Holly when you get back or in the morning? So I come in the morning. Her dad's waiting for me, right? Oh. He comes out and he says, listen, you know, I think Holly just needs space. By this point, I still have no idea like why we're fighting or why we're breaking up.
Right.
Her dad says, I think it's best that you go to Michigan, like my mentor, like father figures. Why don't you go there for 3 weeks and don't contact Holly. Don't tell any, don't email her, don't call her, nothing. Give her 3 weeks of space. So I literally get in my car. I don't pack anything from my house, nothing. I get in my car and drive straight to Detroit, Michigan. What? Right?
From Boston.
From Boston. Like complete radio silence. I don't put the radio on once. No CDs. This is like back in the day a little bit. No CD. Nothing, right? I drive there. I wait 3 weeks, right? Just complete agony, wondering like what happened? What did I do?
Right.
3 weeks go by. I don't get a phone call. I get an email from her.
Oh.
This was the girl like I was going to marry.
Right.
I get an email just basically saying, I don't trust you and I can't be with you. It was like 3 sentences.
Wow.
So then I call, because I started a nonprofit, a very successful nonprofit. Right. I call my partner, who Holly is his sister-in-law.
Oh.
Okay. And he says, Kevin, I think it's best that you don't come back to Boston because we don't want any drama with the family.
The nonprofit
that I started. Yeah, that I started with him.
This is unreal.
So I don't even.
Yo.
Right. So I end up staying in Michigan because I have no place to go. And they ship only half of my stuff back from my apartment to Detroit, Michigan. So that's one of my worst breakups. To this day, I have no idea what happened. I literally have no idea. And I thought this was like the girl that I was going to marry. Again, like I'm telling you, like I've like back checked everything. Like, what did I say something? Did I do something? You know? And
Who did you kill, bro?
I know. That's how I felt. So it took me literally 5 years to go on another date. I was that broken. So it was actually like my 30th birthday when that was going on. And I went to go see a funny movie. I was trying to like go see a funny movie. I didn't know really anybody in Michigan except for like my mentor. I ended up walking into the wrong movie, Silver Linings Playlist. Have you seen that? Playbook. And I would just sat there and bawled my eyes out because it's all about like relationship and mental illness. So yeah, that's like my dump story.
I can't believe that you still watch Lord of the Rings after that. Bro, dressed up as a hobbit.
You sucked it up crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you know it's a good show.
Right.
That's a good series.
Well, it wasn't even Lord of the Rings. It was The Hobbit, which was like the B list of Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
And you just said, I want some more of the power.
You're like, nah, you're not going to rule my night.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's,
But my thing is just like, why did you go to Detroit? Like, why did you, like, I know you were trying to do what was best, but, like, he's just like, this is what you should do. And you're just like, you know what? Good idea. Like, drive to Detroit? Yeah. That's like a 10-plus hour drive.
Oh, right? It was longer than that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You know when, like, you're in love, you do stupid things. Like, when you're not thinking about, like, the consequences. So, yeah, and I really respected the dad. He was kind of like the patriarch of, like, this whole community. Like, just a really great guy. Really cared about me. I mean, now I look back at it, I could have like put my foot down and be like, no, like I have a whole life here. I have a whole business that's, it's a nonprofit. And so, I just honored it. I thought if I did what he wanted me to do, that maybe whatever Holly was going through, it was just like a shock moment, like I just got in the car and literally silent. No music, no podcast, nothing.
Did you stop for gas?
Yeah, just stop.
Like maybe
you gotta stop for gas, bro.
Jesus grabbed the whip.
Yeah. So that was tough, man. That was a dark hour. I thought, when you say these things like, I'll never talk to a girl again. I'll never be in love again.
Have you Googled her name or anything?
Yeah, she's married and has a couple kids now.
Oh, my God. Wow.
But that's a dark dump.
That's down bad.
They talk about men being toxic, but like, bro.
Yeah.
I really feel like the way, because like so many guys have stories like this.
I think we're toxic sorry, I'll let you go.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I just feel like we're toxic on a smaller level, whereas I feel like when women like do something toxic, like it's such a deeper cut.
Well, women don't get criticized the same way. So like, I'm sure when her retelling of the story, she's going to be like telling her friends. She's going to be crying, first of all.
Oh, yeah. That is true. That is so
she's going to be crying. She's like, I was having an asthma attack.
He didn't care.
And he didn't even have an asthma pump on him. Like, what type of dude doesn't have spare asthma pumps?
Yeah.
He just drove me as fast as he could home. But, like, really, like, why didn't he just stop at a hospital?
Right. Every guy should know that.
Like, I can't believe he wasn't a doctor. Like, why didn't he become a doctor in that moment?
You're right, honey. Call Dan back. That's your ex. He's amazing. Like,
So the fact that, like, she's already painted herself as this type of victim, I'm sure, like, even her dad, I can only imagine the story she told her dad, because most guys are sensible. So he's like, you have this dude waiting. What's going on? She's like, Dad, you wouldn't believe it if I told you what actually happened. He's like, all right. He's like, all right, bitch, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to send him to Hawaii or however far I can send him. And she's like, trust me, Dad, you don't want to know. And he's like, all right. Now he has to, like, stand by his daughter. But it's such a weird, imagine if the roles were reversed, right? Imagine if your phone's blowing up and your girl sees it and she's like, baby, what's this? He's like, yo, what are you doing?
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
It's bedlam.
Yeah,
I canceled my plans for 4 weeks. Like,
it's crazy. By the way, she's opening that phone.
Right.
She's not gonna give you the respect of like, hey babe, I saw your
no.
phone was lit up. What's going on? She's like, hey babe, can I see your finger for a second?
Hold on, wait, look at me real quick.
Yeah.
Hey.
Babe, you sleep with your eyes
The
open,
Face
right?
ID.
Like just one. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get the other one. But yeah, the fact that like I'm sure she got a pass from everybody. Like the way she probably retold that story.
Oh yeah.
That's unreal. I'm surprised that you. Dang, but that's a deep cut. Did you never? So you never tried to hit her up after that, just
No,
for
you
like
know
some
what?
level of closure.
There
How
was
long are you dating for? Sorry, good.
She actually did hit me up a few times. Like it was a really weird situation. So I was in Detroit, got a new job, and then it was like about 6 months into it. She sent me an email. I don't know who uses email. I didn't understand this email thing. Sent me an email saying, "I can't believe you didn't like try to win me back."
Oh, I'm about to flip a table.
Good night.
I'm about to flip a table.
Cut it.
So then,
Cut it off.
so then I would respond. I would literally respond, and this would like put me in like a super dark place. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? Like I left everything. Like I gave you your space. Like your dad, you sent me an email saying you don't want anything to do with me. What do you want me to do?
Right.
So I would respond, and then it would be another 3 months that she would reply again, right? So she would put me on hold and reply again in 3 months, saying basically the same thing. And so finally, my friend, who I was deeply close with, he actually messaged her and said, "You either be with Kevin or you never talk to him again."
Leave him alone, yeah.
And then she never talked to me again.
Good.
So, it was tough, man.
We all need
bad.
friends like that to advocate for us when we can't advocate for ourselves.
No, 100%.
But that is brutal because I
Yeah.
wouldn't even have a friend to advocate for me in that space because I probably wouldn't have told anybody. I would have probably I would have probably just took that on the chin.
That's not a chin taking though, bro. Like that's
Yeah, I mean your friends are gonna be like,
disappeared. I'm just like, look, where you go? You like, oh, I went to.
Yeah.
I went to Detroit, dog. Like, so when I'm gonna see you? Probably about 3 months. Like, what? No.
why are you in Detroit? You know it's bustling with opportunities. I just want to be in a good economy,
really
honestly.
Yeah.
I got this residency. It's a great little bar. Like, no, bro.
Nah, that's truly a wild breakup story.
Yeah, one of your acquaintances would have been like, "You're bugging, bro."
Yeah. Oh man, honestly, like I kind of want to say a prayer for her new husband. Like the fact that like somebody
sent an email from a burner account like, "Hey Dustin,"
because you can't like get a divorce that way. Like baby, I'm having an asthma attack. I think you should take custody.
He goes send a 1-word burner envelope email that just says asthma attack. And he's just like,
just call her dad over, like, baby, can you get rid of my husband for me? He's like, again? You can't keep using me to get rid of your
this
boyfriend.
man lives in Texas. We at least gotta get him a car.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah, that's really wild, man.
yeah, that's next level, dog.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're okay.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's tough.
So you started a nonprofit. What's like the worst job
to the
you've
trigger
ever
man? We had
had,
to go.
like outside of working in a nonprofit?
The worst job I ever had is working at a restaurant. Serving tables is the absolute worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
People, especially here in New York City, it can be tough. Like people just kind of treat you like you're not human.
Yeah.
You're dealing with chefs who, think they're gods. You know what I mean? But also working at a restaurant, you learn like the hustle and bustle of life. And so one saying like it's the worst job, it's also probably one of the best jobs because like you learn to hustle, you learn teamwork. Yeah, it's just like one of those things. You appreciate like service people, because people don't realize how hard it is for your food from that order for your food to go to the kitchen and for it to come to you, like what the process is.
Yeah, I firmly believe that everyone, you know how like in certain countries you have to serve in the military?
Yeah.
I feel like in America, it should be mandatory for every person before the age of 30,
16 to 20,
you have to spend at like a year, not just working in the service industry though, like with your livelihood depending on the money you earn in the service industry.
Yeah.
I think that it's important just because like a lot of people don't understand why the service industry is broken the way it's broken. And it's because like people, you shouldn't give that much power to every asshole
Yeah.
who wants to get calamari. Like,
right.
what are we doing?
Yeah.
You're giving people alcohol until they had their fill, and then you're saying, "Hey, by the way, can I have some allowance?"
Yeah, right. Can I get some?
No, they're
and
drunk.
More than that, yeah.
And they had no idea it was going to cost this much, and now they're responsible for whether or not you're going to be able to pay rent this month. It's absurd.
It is, yeah.
It's such a broken system. I worked in the service industry for a while. Yeah, it is. But I mean, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Just throw the whole system away. Our tip system is so bad. It makes me so upset that it's expanding to other like parts of our business place. Like I was at the laundromat, and there was like, you ever do drop off laundry?
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
Yeah. So like everywhere I go, people are asking for tips. I'm like, okay, you're providing a service, I'll give you a tip.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why I go to a place like that sells candy, and they're turning the screen around like, you want a tip? I picked the candy out myself.
Yeah.
I scooped
the
it.
Tip part? I think even coffee places.
Yeah, I scooped it. I picked it
Fast
myself.
casual Chipotle? Come on, dog.
Yeah.
Froyo. I'm actually pouring. I'm doing everything. I'm weighing the ice cream myself. Why am I tipping
First off,
you?
it's also already $17.
Yeah, they're turning the screen around like, I'm like, no. Why are you asking for tips?
Let me get that back to you.
Yeah. Pay people living wages.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
The fact that I keep seeing like every time I go to a place and they turn that screen around, I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? Who allowed? Who's making these products?
Sometimes they ask you if you want to leave a tip. Then you're really in a pickle because then you're like, no.
Yeah.
Or if you say like it's like you have to say yes. Like if you say no, then like the whole line behind you is like, damn, that dude's a dickhead.
Yeah.
The tip is bad. It's worse when it's like, do you want to donate to like childhood cancer?
Yeah.
I bought a movie ticket the other day. Through the glass screen, they have that microphone little thing, and they were like, "Do you want to donate $1 to like children cancer?" And I had to lean into the microphone like, "No." People behind me are like, "Hey, man." I have my daughter with me. Like, no, fuck those kids. Just my baby.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
What'd you say? Oh yeah, nah.
Tipping is terrible. I think we should get rid of it altogether. I love when restaurants are like, everything is included.
Yeah, that's a good system. Yeah.
They just build like in the price of all the items. It's like, hey, it costs a little bit more, but you don't have to worry about tipping. Yeah. You just get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah. I think it should all just be cheaper.
You know.
But then I want restaurants to make money. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
You sound like a capitalist. I want the restaurants to make money.
My dad owned a restaurant.
I'm paying $30 for cereal, and you're like, I want the restaurant to do all right. It's a grilled cheese. Why am I paying $17 for grilled cheese? I just hope they make enough profit off this.
There are some points in your life that I think have really scarred you for life. Okay, and the restaurant industry sounds like one of them. Okay,
Bruh, there
are great people that you met there. Okay, there is someone who gave you a job. Okay, that one night you made $500. Okay, so I think you should think about that. Think about that more than you should crap on it. Because think about what you're gonna want to open up a bar or a restaurant one day.
Me?
Yeah.
Hell nah.
Bro, you already have a restaurant in your backyard.
Yeah, I want to feed my family.
No. Maya don't eat brisket and ribs.
Not yet. But one day, man, she's going to have a bib full of brisket left over. She's going to be eating.
Maya going to be 6 years old like, Dad, I don't identify as someone who eats meat or anything or all that.
She's going to be the only toddler with high blood pressure. For sure. She's getting all the briskets, all the pork.
Nah, bro. Watch.
Nah, I'm not going to.
Wait
I would
till they
never
become vegan.
Never open up a restaurant. Never.
You don't know that, bro.
You're like, but the restaurants have to make money. What are you talking
You
about?
started a podcast. When did you think you thought you started a podcast? When did you think you were going to do that? I'm pretty sure like 10 years ago, you didn't think you'd ever do a podcast.
It's not outside the realm of possibilities.
Okay.
But if I did, in this hypothetical world,
what's your model gonna be?
in this alternate universe where I think it's a good idea to open up a restaurant, I would make sure that everyone working is getting paid a livable wage.
Yeah.
And
That's what Kanye was saying too.
Oh,
Yeah, what he was saying before.
Just pay everybody honestly, and if that doesn't work, please donate to my nonprofit.
There you go.
I would never open a restaurant.
Okay,
no.
yeah.
And I love to cook and I love to drink.
Yeah.
And I love to eat, but man, I just think that restaurants are not it, especially in America, man.
Yeah, I haven't ate a lot of outside of the country. I need to do that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food? And what about you? Have you ate out of the country before?
Yeah, I actually lived in London for a while. And their system is.
I heard their food's trash.
No, I wouldn't say it's trash. Just but they don't do tipping at all.
Oh,
so they kind of beat that system. But yeah, no, England has good food. I don't know why it gets trashed like that. Especially they call it an English breakfast.
Okay,
that's not bad.
Yeah,
not bad. Okay,
No.
what's in that? What is that comprised of?
So you're gonna have eggs, sausage. It's a little bit weird. They have baked beans.
Okay, I love baked beans.
Yeah, baked beans. Usually like a fried mushroom.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just a little bit different. Toast.
Got it.
But yeah, it's like a hot.
How long did you live there for?
5 years. Yeah.
Jeez. So you went from Detroit to England?
I went from Florida to England. So I went to school in Florida, and then I
it.
got a job in the UK. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
You know what's the worst when you go to a country that doesn't have a tipping culture, and and then you get hit with the tip. It's like, so I went to Mexico.
Yeah.
And Mexico, like some parts, like tourist parts of Mexico, they'll have.
Oh, different parts.
Yeah, they'll like, oh, you look dumb. You'll probably give me a tip.
Right.
So they'll have like, hey, you want to leave a tip? And it's like, all right, I'm American, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But then you go to like some places, like the more like if you go to most places in Tulum or like off the beaten path of Cancun, you don't have to worry about tipping because it's not a thing that they do. Yeah. But nothing's worse than like being in a place that doesn't do tips and they look at you like, oh, we can get some more money out of him. Like, he's part of that dumbass system.
Right.
Yeah.
You're the one that's like, oh, no tip. They're like, oh yeah, we tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you do that for us?
I was in South Africa. I think I got a pizza and they were like, tip? I'm like, that's the only word you know.
Right,
Like, you just saw me with a Yankees hat on. You're like, oh, I could get an extra couple dollars out of him.
Yo, 77%. Like, what? How did you come up with that number?
Yeah, they saw me pull out some like green money. They're like, oh, we got a dummy here.
He's got money. Yeah.
That tipping culture is the devil, man.
No, I don't mind it. I think
He wants the restaurants to make money.
I want the restaurants to like, I open up a restaurant. You're gonna come up with the menu, all right? You're gonna come up with the payment.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Payment scale, and then it'll be great for everybody, all right? And then Maya will make the commercials for us. All right?
Yeah, I don't believe anything you're saying right now.
No, I swear.
I don't think you believe.
My dad had a restaurant, dog. Growing up, I grew up in a restaurant, and I loved when he made money. Okay, and I hated it because then if we didn't make money, then we didn't have heat. All right, so.
But your dad owned the restaurant.
Yeah.
So he wasn't making money off of tips anyway.
Yeah, he was. How was he not making money off of tips?
Was he working as a server in his own restaurant?
No. So he would give it to the people working there.
This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
If he's the owner of the restaurant and he has a wait staff, they're working for tips,
right?
So the tips go straight to the wait staff, right?
Yeah.
So how's your dad, who's the owner, giving them tips?
How is he giving them tips?
Yeah.
Oh, it was so you ever been like a soul food? It was a soul food restaurant.
Okay.
So it's like you give the food over to, so it's like a jar. It's like a jar that you drop tips into.
Oh,
everybody puts all the tips in.
Yeah. Drops into a big jar. Yeah.
And so
it wasn't like service. It wasn't like, oh, here, let's bring it out too.
But there's no reason for him to facilitate that. I think the wait staff should be able to just like figure it out amongst themselves, right?
See, he was a trustworthy boss. See, man, your integrity's messed up, bro. Your integrity, you gotta get your integrity right. All right, if you do it the right way, everybody gonna win. All right.
So it's not that you're his son, and you I'm the biased one here, right? It's me not trusting restaurants.
No.
All right, let's not make it about your dad. But, Kevin, have you ever had like a dark hour, like a story from a dark time in your life that you want to share?
I mean, that was a pretty dark hour, but if you have another one,
that's
pretty wild, right?
It was, yeah. No, that was definitely one of the wildest breakup stories I've ever heard. Yeah, it's crazy that like women can just do that. I say it because like men always talked about like, oh, he dumped me. And it's like women initiate most breakups.
Yeah, they do.
like 70-80% of divorces are initiated by women.
Does that count as a breakup though? I think that's different.
That's the ultimate breakup.
No,
Getting
but I
divorced.
think, yeah, but divorces I think is I think
what's different?
the fact that a woman has gotten a guy to commit, it's a different dynamic. Then it's its own scale. That should be in and of
you think so?
Versus boyfriend girlfriend, like yeah.
Nah, I think when two people separate, something has broken up. So, by definition, I think the divorce is the ultimate breakup. But if you want to tomato it, we can do that.
I'm in my Charlemagne bag today.
Yeah. Nah, I think that like what would you call a breakup? You think divorce isn't a breakup?
I think it's a different type of breakup. I think it comes with a different level of stakes. That I think if a guy has bought into a divorce, there's something in his head that has switched around the institution of, like, I feel like a guy in a regular cavalier relationship is more ideal. Not cavalier, but like in a more like the relationship that you have before you get married. I think a guy is more susceptible to leave that. I think if we were to look at those metrics, I think a guy would probably be more favored.
One thing about Cab is the more he uses his hands, the more full of shit he is. When his hands came out,
bro, like he was like
he's full of shit. Yeah. No, that's a great story, man. I'm glad you shared.
All right, dark hours.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, I have quite a few dark stories, especially like some personal ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit about myself. I grew up in Toledo, Ohio.
That's pretty dark, man.
Yeah. I think we leave it there. Yeah,
that place is desolate. Have you been to Toledo?
It's bad. Yeah.
I just know folks who be going to it.
Yeah, no, Toledo is it's different, man.
It's pretty dark. Yeah, and I grew up in a really bad neighborhood. I was a Jewish kid living in a mostly run like Latino I always get it wrong, like M83.
Oh yeah,
the gang, from El Salvador.
Yeah. You don't want to mess that up.
Right. I did, yeah.
Leif, what exactly is now?
So I grew up in this neighborhood. Yeah. My mom and dad were both drug addicts. So about the age of 8 years old, I realized like things weren't okay. Yeah. They used to take me to this house that I didn't know until I was about 8, like what was happening. So they take me, they leave me outside every time we went over there. It didn't matter if it was raining, snowing, whatever. Left me outside for hours and hours. And my mom and dad would come out drunk, or actually high, drunk, whatever. And I started realizing from about 8 years old that I had to take care of myself. Yeah. And from 8 years old, I was doing my own laundry, cooking my own food, which is barely anything. It's like peanut butter, crackers, just whatever, we could get at the food bank, down the street. And so I had these good group of friends. Their name was Andres, Daniel, Pablo, and Lupe. And you had this Jewish kid named Kevin in this neighborhood. And we would just get jumped all the time for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I just had to grow up really fast. And so I happened to be really good at baseball. I know we're listening to this online, or maybe we're watching it. I don't look like it now, but I was actually really good.
I was like, what else can he pull out of his hat here?
Yeah. I was actually really good at baseball. Yeah. And I got a full ride scholarship to the University of Miami, Florida.
Oh, sheesh.
Actually I got boxes and boxes and boxes of full ride scholarships. Played for one of the best teams in the country, and had everything like I'm going to get out of this neighborhood, right? That was my whole thing. My dad told me almost every day of his life, Kevin, I just want you to know I'm going to kill myself today. I just want you to know I'm going to drive my car off the bridge. Literally, he would tell me that almost every day.
Wow.
And I never saw my mom never not drunk or high.
Wow.
We just lived on this couch and just always. And so my whole thing was I have to get out of this neighborhood or there's no reason to live. So I worked really, really hard, got all these scholarships. And I was on a summer baseball team. Yeah. We were traveling around, the country, because I was on this massive, awesome team of all these guys who were either getting drafted or getting full ride scholarships. And I was sitting on a balcony of a hotel right on the second floor. And all of a sudden I slip and fall off this balcony. and I shattered my wrist. Literally, my wrist was like, looked like a pelican's neck. It was all the way down here. And they did all these surgeries to like put my wrist back together. And the doctor literally said, Kevin, like, I just want you to know you're never, ever going to be able to swing the bat like properly again. And so I went through all the physical therapy, all the training. I'm like, you know what? Like, screw this guy. You know, like, I'm going to get out of this neighborhood. I'm not going to lose my dream. I literally pick up the bat after months and months of physical therapy, and I can't swing. Like, literally, it hurts so bad. Literally, there's a bone, like, missing in my wrist. So tears are rolling down my face. And so I just came to the point, to be honest with you, like, there's no reason to live anymore. If this is the example, like, I can't keep hustling like this. Like, I had gotten arrested for stealing. They actually sent me to Scared Straight. That's a whole probably another story. That scared me straight. Like, I actually really went to it. The judge said, you can either spend time in juvenile or I'll send you to Milan prison, federal prison, and to go to Scared Straight.
I did that too, by the way.
And they scared me straight.
I went to the Scared Straight.
Oh, you did? I thought you were joking.
Nah, for real.
And it really, those inmates, like, they said the things that they would do to you in there. I'd rather die than go to jail. So, anyways, like, I had no reason to live. And, you know, the friends stopped coming around, the girls start coming around, and we were so poor we didn't even have a phone. You know, so now all of a sudden I'm isolated. And so I actually came up with like a perfect way to kill myself. I was going to kill myself on November 17th, 2000. I had it written down. I was going to jump off this. It's called the Maumee Perrysburg Bridge. And there was like, this is it. I had it planned. Didn't tell anybody. I just knew that this was what I was going to do. And 3 weeks before November 17th, this like missionary, like youth pastor knocks on my door, invites me to church, right? And I go, I've never heard of Jesus, never heard of church. And I get there, and he takes me to the parsonage, which is like where the pastor lives. And he takes me to the basement, right? And I get there, and it's the lamest thing I've ever seen. Like, there's 3.5 kids that go to this like youth group, right? And the only reason I went because they had pizza. Because I was like, they had pizza.
You're hungry, yeah.
And they put on a CD, you know, for like worship. And the worship was like, open the eyes of my heart. And I'm like, what the heck does that mean, you know? And this guy got up there and he preached that Jesus loved me, had a plan for my life. And I was in the back literally cussing this guy out. Like, if God's real, you know, F you. Like, just like really giving it to him. Because I'm like, if God's real, then why am I in this situation, right? So then he comes back the next week, knocks on my door, says, hey, like, there's free pizza. You know? And so I go, same thing. This same 3.5 kids, which were like I was a pretty popular kid in school. Like, these are like the nerdy kids, which are whatever, you know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
And then they put the same song on, Open the Eyes of My Heart. That still doesn't make any sense to me. He gets up there and preaches again, like there's 10,000 people in this basement. And I am just heckling him. Like, imagine like being heckled at a comedy show.
I don't have to imagine.
I am.
This is in Toledo, right?
Yeah, okay. I am literally heckling him, like just full on cussing him out this whole time. Then he comes back on November 15th, 2000.
He likes a tough crowd.
Yeah. And then literally, and he literally knocks on my door November 15th. And I told you, I already made up in my mind, and like it wasn't just something like I thought about doing. Like, I was going to kill myself on November 17th, 2000. I get there, free pizza again, same 3.5 kids. You know, he puts on Open the Eyes of My Heart again. I still don't understand that. He preaches the same message that Jesus loves me, has a plan for my life. And literally, he answered this call. He said, if you want to know what love is, which that's what I desperately wanted, I want you to just step forward. And all of a sudden I stepped forward, and it was just like God met me and took like these buckets of love and just poured them over and over and over and over me, like literally transformed and changed my life. That literally the next day I went to school, I knocked on the principal's office, I was like, you need to hear about this effing Jesus. And just like that complete darkest hour like changed my life.
Damn.
You know, where I was literally gonna kill myself 2 days later.
Yeah.
And that's just it was the darkest hour, but it was also the most hope, and completely changed my life. And that's what I committed my life to now is to share that message.
How old were you?
17.
17.
Yeah, 17. Yeah.
Ooh.
It was the darkest hour, of my life.
That's real.
Yeah.
But your life doesn't just change, like, you don't do a complete one, even though that's like such a pivotal turning point. There's still so much work to do after that turning point, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Like I had like I knew I felt, we call it salvation. Like I knew like I was saved. I knew I was loved.
Yeah.
I still was stuck in that neighborhood.
Right.
You know what I mean? My life hadn't changed in that area.
Right.
But I can go into that story, which is actually a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
Is so after that, those 3.5 kids, they played baseball, but they weren't good enough to make the team. Right. And this is a pretty cool story. So they asked me to pick up the bat to swing, right? And I go to pick up the bat. I'm like, hey guys, like listen, like I'll teach you how to play.
Yeah.
Catch, throw some grounders, like help you out here. But I was like, guys, you don't understand. Like this hurts my wrist when I swing the bat. So I pick up the bat and I literally swing and there's no pain in my wrist.
Oh my God.
Like literally no pain. And I hadn't read the Bible or anything yet.
Right.
I didn't know God like could do that. I didn't know like God could heal your wrist.
Yeah.
So this is right during spring training of my senior year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, so in my mind, I'm like, dude, like I can get my scholarships
play.
back.
Yeah.
I can get others. So I remember I walked into the locker room and I'm like, guys, listen, I can play baseball. Like I'm ready. And this guy named Tristan, like the biggest kid on the team, he throws me up against the locker and says, I don't want any of this effing Jesus in the locker room.
Oh, that's real.
And so I literally say, you know what, guys? Like, because God had transformed my life so much.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't know me before, like, I didn't care about God, I didn't care about anybody. Changed my life so much. I said, you know what, guys? Like, I can't play, right? Like, I literally said, this is all like cheesy or whatever. I said, if Jesus can't come into the locker room, then I'm not going to play.
I can't.
And so what happened was, like, our school was always ranked in, like, top of the state.
Yeah.
They lose, and I can't make this up, they lose the first 11 games. And that has never happened in school history. To the point where teammates were coming to me and saying, hey, man, like,
you trying to play?
Yeah, we need you. We really, and I know baseball's not an individual game, right? So I was like, no, I was waiting for Tristan to come talk to me.
Yeah.
So after they lose the 11th game, Tristan comes and says, Kevin, Jesus. It sounds like Jesus can come into the locker room.
Yeah.
And can I tell you, we won 21 games in a row after I got on the team.
What?
We won 21-11, right? We didn't lose one game, went to the state championship. The state semifinal, I actually hit a home run to win the game. Like, can't make that up. Everyone on the baseball team became a Christian, like gave their life to Jesus. Gave their life to Jesus. And I got every single scholarship back. I actually even got drafted by the Tampa Bay Devil Rays out of that last season. Yeah.
Dang.
But I decided not to go play baseball and actually went to ministry school instead.
Right.
Which is another really cool story. Is like the whole reason I wanted to play baseball was to get out of that neighborhood because I never would have enough money to go to college.
Yeah.
So I go to this private Bible college that, you can't really get funding and all this stuff. That this guy, right before school started, he came up to me and said that he felt like that God spoke to him to pay for all of my university for all 4 years, all dorms, all food. So like over $100,000 he gave me to go to school. So I got that scholarship, but in a different way, which is so cool. Yeah. So all that darkest hour, like, completely changed my life forever. Yeah.
Do you ever think about what if you would have played?
Of course.
Sometimes when the bank account's low. Working for a church, you don't get paid like you would playing
Seeing these
baseball.
checks now, like $300 million checks.
Yeah.
$400 million, $500 million contracts this offseason.
Yeah, just even to play minor ball would have been fun, but yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever play like softball or anything?
Yeah, but church leagues are the worst, man. Those people are the worst humans in the on the planet. So I played a couple years and like I was like, I can't. You guys don't come to my church anymore. You know, church softball is the worst. I think there's more fights, more people show up drunk.
Wait, what? In the church?
Yeah, it's a tough league, man.
Wow,
So
wow.
yeah, it's like a good joke all the time, but yeah, definitely played a couple years, but hung it up.
Yeah,
Gee,
Yeah,
that's wild.
I played basketball with our church group. Like we did we went to sometimes, yeah. And and we and I remember like just seeing the arguments over fouls.
yeah, it's wild,
It's
right?
like people will literally be out of bounds. Like throw the ball out of bounds and be like, yo, it's our ball. And it's like, we saw you. It's like, people are like lying in front of their pastor, like, nah, man, nah, fam, it's our ball. It's like, that's not a foul. It's like, you hit, I'm bleeding. It's like, yeah, it's crazy the way people will suspend their beliefs.
Suspend. That's the best way to put it. Suspend it. It's like pause. Anyway.
Yeah. As soon as a game gets real, like game point, by the way, like gloves are off. It gets crazy. It doesn't matter who you're around, man. I remember I was hooping with, I don't want to say who it was, but like, at church, they're like really friendly, really warm. Mm-hmm. He wasn't on my team. It's like he was like he was possessed. I was like, bro. He was like sitting screens, his elbows are out. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on, bro? Are you the same person? But yeah, people change up, man. That game gets real. But dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a crazy story.
Yeah, bro, you've lived one.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild. The fortitude is like at an all-time high.
Yeah.
When you were going through the situation with your ex, did any of similar feelings or sentiments come up from previously when you had that similar tragedy with breaking your hand?
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, of course. I had
like a dark place.
I had a dark spot. Yeah, I had a broken down car, pretty bad car, and it's not that I didn't have the money to fix it, but I was like, I have something with cars like just stressed me out. But it would always be leaking brake fluid.
Yeah,
and so I would be filling it up like once a week, right? Yeah, and I got to this dark place where, like, no one's going to love me. Like, what did I do? Especially with Holly, that I stopped putting brake fluid in the car. Yeah. Kind of just hoping, that things would end. That didn't last as long as like when I was 17, but I hit that 30, I walked into the wrong movie. I was in, a place that I didn't know anybody. I didn't know what was happening. And so, yeah, I definitely got to that dark place again. Yeah. So yeah, it was tough, and yeah, I really just had to like talk to people and get my head straight and get back, with God, and understand that things happen to people, things happen to you, and it's not always your fault. And yeah, there's always hope at the end of the tunnel rather than killing yourself. That's like the least thing you could do.
Yeah. Well, that's a solid message, man. And that's also a good way to wrap up the episode, man.
Yeah, man, that was powerful.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks guys for having us.
Kevin, you're truly an inspiration. I mean, that is I'm sure you have so much, a lot more.
Yeah. I was gonna say there's definitely more meat on the bone for sure.
Yeah, I mean, just your parents alone, it's like, who?
Yeah, I'm like, so wait, where are they at? How are they doing?
Yeah, they both passed away when I was 17.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
dang.
Around within 3 months of each other. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, thank you so much for doing the pod, man. You're so much fun, and we definitely want to have you back on.
Yeah,
man.
I would love to, guys. This is fun.
In the meantime, check out Ozark. Chris.
Yeah, I'm ready to get dark again. Yeah.
If people want to follow you or reach out to you, is there a way for them to find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Kevin Śmigielski. I'm a Cookie Monster guy.
Nice.
That's my logo.
Okay.
You should definitely tell people how to spell your last name.
Yeah. So it's Kevin, Kevin, and then Smigielski. It's a tough one.
Guys, hit up Kevin, man. This has been another fun episode of The Darkest Hour.
A couple good ones in there, man.
Yeah, man.
You're in for a treat.
You guys make sure you guys check us out next time. This is the man, the myth, Cav Washington, and I'm Leclerc Andre. I'll see you guys next time.
Yep.
Peace.
See you guys.